The story of Kashmir is a tale etched in sorrow, a stark reminder of the messy legacy of colonialism. When the British Raj drew its final breath in 1947, the Indian subcontinent was cleaved in two, giving birth to India and Pakistan. Kashmir, a princely state with a Muslim majority populace but ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, found itself at a crossroads. Torn between acceding to India or Pakistan, the Maharaja initially chose independence. However, this fragile peace was shattered by an invasion from Pakistan, forcing the Maharaja's hand. He signed the instrument of accession, joining India, but this act only served to ignite a decades-long dispute that continues to cast a long shadow over the region. The partition's wounds ran deep, leaving behind a trail of violence and displacement that forever scarred the memories of those who witnessed it. Kashmir became a battleground, its fate hanging precariously in the balance as India and Pakistan locked horns in a conflict that would define their relationship for generations to come. The First Indo-Pakistani War of 1947–48 ended with a ceasefire line dividing Kashmir. This line, later known as the Line of Control, solidified the region's partition, leaving a bitter aftertaste that continues to linger. For decades, the Indian Constitution's Article 370 stood as a symbol of Kashmir's unique status. Granted in 1949, this article acknowledged the region's distinct identity, affording it a degree of autonomy enjoyed by no other Indian state. Under its provisions, Jammu and Kashmir were empowered to formulate their own laws, with the exception of matters concerning defense, foreign affairs, and communications. The Indian flag flew alongside the state's own flag, a visual reminder of Kashmir's special position within the Indian Union. However, on August 5, 2019, the Indian government made the momentous decision to revoke Article 370, stripping Jammu and Kashmir of its autonomy and dividing the state into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. This move sent shockwaves across the region and beyond, drawing sharp criticism from Pakistan and raising concerns among the international community. The Indian government argued that the revocation was necessary to bring peace and development to the troubled region. Many viewed it as a significant change in the region's status and a new chapter in its history. The revocation of Article 370 ushered in a period of profound political uncertainty in Kashmir. The region was placed under a strict security lockdown, with communication networks severed and public gatherings banned. The presence of security forces was heavily amplified, further heightening tensions in an already volatile environment. Political leaders, including former chief ministers, were placed under house arrest, their voices silenced during this tumultuous period. In the aftermath of the revocation, the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference, a prominent regional political party, emerged as a vocal critic of the Indian government's actions. The National Conference, which had historically advocated for greater autonomy for Kashmir, condemned the abrogation of Article 370 as unconstitutional and vowed to fight for its restoration. The party's stance resonated with many Kashmiris who felt aggrieved by the loss of their special status. The political landscape in Kashmir remains complex and fluid, with the aspirations of the Kashmiri people caught between the competing narratives of India and Pakistan. The conflict in Kashmir has been punctuated by periods of intense violence, often driven by militant groups operating within the region. These groups, some with alleged links to Pakistan, have carried out attacks on security forces, government installations, and civilians, spreading fear and instability throughout the valley. The presence of militancy has had a devastating impact on Kashmiri society, claiming countless lives and hindering economic development. While the overall levels of militancy-related violence have seen a decline in recent years, sporadic incidents continue to erupt, serving as grim reminders of the fragility of peace in the region. A grenade attack in Srinagar in November 2024, which injured 12 people, underscored the persistent threat posed by these groups. The Indian government has maintained a strong military presence in Kashmir to counter the threat of militancy. Section 5, a bridge too far. The India-Pakistan stalemate. The Kashmir conflict has been a perennial thorn in the side of India-Pakistan relations, preventing any meaningful normalization of ties between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. Both countries claim the entire region as their own, and their rivalry has played out on the battlefields of Kashmir, resulting in numerous wars and countless skirmishes. The line of control remains a volatile flashpoint, with ceasefire violations and cross-border shelling a recurring feature of the fraught relationship. Despite international pressure to resolve the Kashmir issue, dialogue between India and Pakistan has been sporadic and largely unproductive. Efforts to find a lasting solution have been hampered by deep mistrust and a lack of political will. The two countries remain locked in a stalemate, with neither willing to make concessions that they fear would be perceived as a sign of weakness. The lack of progress in resolving the Kashmir issue continues to cast a dark shadow over South Asia, hindering regional cooperation and development. Section 6. The world watches international involvement in the Kashmir issue. The Kashmir conflict has attracted considerable international attention, with various countries and organizations expressing concern over the human rights situation and calling for a peaceful resolution. The United Nations has been involved in the issue since its inception, with numerous resolutions passed calling for a plebiscite to determine the will of the Kashmiri people. However, these resolutions have not been implemented due to the lack of agreement between India and Pakistan. The international community has urged both India and Pakistan to engage in dialogue and find a peaceful solution that respects the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. However, the complex geopolitical realities of the region have made progress elusive. The involvement of external actors, while well-intentioned, has often been met with accusations of interference and bias, further complicating an already intricate issue. Section 7. Life in the shadow of conflict. The human cost of the Kashmir issue. For the people of Kashmir, the conflict has been an enduring tragedy, casting a long shadow over their lives. Generations have grown up amidst violence and uncertainty, their dreams and aspirations often shattered by the harsh realities of living in a conflict zone. The constant threat of violence and the restrictions on movement and communication have taken a heavy toll on the mental and emotional well-being of the Kashmiri people. The conflict has also had a devastating impact on the Kashmiri economy, particularly the tourism industry, which once thrived on the region's natural beauty. The violence and instability have kept tourists away, depriving the local population of a vital source of income. The lack of economic opportunities has led to a sense of despair and hopelessness among many young Kashmiris. Section 8. A glimmer of hope. The uncertain future of Kashmir. The future of Kashmir remains shrouded in uncertainty. The revocation of Article 370 has fundamentally altered the status quo, and its long-term consequences are still unfolding. The region is at a crossroads, and the path it takes will depend on a multitude of factors, including the policies of the Indian government and the dynamics of the India-Pakistan relationship. While the challenges are immense, there is always hope for a brighter future. Dialogue, empathy, and a genuine commitment to peace from all stakeholders are essential to break the cycle of violence and create a conducive environment for a lasting solution. The aspirations of the Kashmiri people, who yearn for peace, justice, and dignity, must be at the heart of any future settlement. Only then can the wounds of the past begin to heal, and Kashmir, once known as paradise on earth, can truly live up to its name.